FISU World University Games. The men's pommel horse competition. Here they are, the finalists. And will this be a case of Armenia? Because they are fantastic on this apparatus. Going to be such a high-quality pommel horse competition. All of the apparatus finals at these games really are opportunities for us to see specialists at work. The pommel horse final at Rhine-Ruhr 2025, and the top two performers in qualification, the two young gentlemen from Armenia, but in an unusual order. Mamikon Khachatrian was the top this time, with Hamlet Manoukian, the reigning junior world champion and the reigning senior European champion, second best. We need to watch for other people though, like Patrick Hoops of the United States of America and Ignacio Yocas of Spain. There are lots of interesting little stories to tell ahead of this final. One of the things I want to start with is the Armenian gymnasts and how it relates actually to the ethos of the Rhine-Ruhr Games, the World University Games, because you have two young men in Mamikon Khachatrian and Hamlet Manoukian, who are students at the Armenian State Institute of Physical Culture and Sport. Now, this is a place that was founded in 1945. It's also the club for the national team. They're all there, training together, working together. And the Armenian coaching staff are very proud of the culture that they feel they fostered, that their gymnasts have fostered, of listening to each other, of respecting each other, of the older athletes acting as role models, of the younger athletes following instruction, not blindly following instruction, just sort of not thinking for themselves, but listening and respecting, almost awe-inspired by the gymnasts above them. And they then go on, ideally, to become the ones that are inspiring awe in the next generation coming forward. So they really feel in Armenia that they have created a culture of humility among their athletes and of coaches who value their own education very seriously and who try to be scholars of coaching, understanding the academia behind it and not just the practical side of coaching. I think that's worth dwelling upon at an occasion like this, which is celebrating not just sport but academic life. Now that's out of the way, what about some of the other stories? Shall we talk about the American collegiate scene? Because we've got two of them here representing different countries.
Yes, Patrick Hoops, who has been just amazing for the USA on the World Cup circuit, winning medals earlier in this season. He is at the university in the United States. And you mentioned the NCAA, Ollie, and the way that it really is a training ground for the U.S. national team. That is bred into collegiate gymnastics culture, particularly amongst the men in the United States. And they take that, what they've learned at the university level, they apply it later to the national team level. And that's what we're seeing from Patrick Hoops, who is 23 years old. And then there's also Ignacio Jockers, who is representing Spain. He actually came up in the U.S. junior and senior system, represented the United States internationally until not too long ago, and now is pulling on his Spanish heritage. He's been competing as a guest at the Spanish National Championships for years now. He is wonderful on pommel horse, and well, there's real potential for Spain to have a medal here because of him.
Well, you only managed to cover 4 of the field. So, let us go on. The men's pommel horse final. We start with Abdelrahman Abdelhalim. He is a postgraduate at the Egyptian Chinese University. It was established in 2013. It's still growing as an institution. He's growing in profile. He won the African title on this apparatus last year. We're very privileged to have a continental champion kicking off this final. He trains at the Egyptian Shooting Club in Giza, a multi-sport club that obviously started as a sport shooting club, and he's going to be shooting for the stars here and aiming for a place on the podium. Good luck to Abdelrahman Abdelhalim.
On pommel horse, what we will be looking for is a smooth routine, no breaks or pauses, good hip clearance, hip height over the horse. Sometimes as the routine progresses and the gymnast gets tired, the hips dip a bit, and we're seeing that already from him. But it's not bad. 8 elements to get through in an exercise, and the slightest thing can throw you off.
You mentioned it, the loss of the hip height earlier on. And for those of you new to pommel horse, very often the moment that causes a gymnast to come off is not the moment where they actually come off. It's a bit like how in badminton or tennis, often the shot that wins the rally isn't actually the last shot in the rally. We sometimes see a delayed unintentional dismount from the gymnast because of what was happening earlier.
Sometimes you can see it coming, and actually he's chosen to repeat the element that he fell on just to make sure that he gets the difficulty credit for it.
That's a really unfortunate moment for Abdelrahman Abdelhalim because it was a very elegant display otherwise. Such a good young gymnast.
And let us not forget that he is only 22 years old. Potentially he has a lot ahead of him representing Egypt internationally. The scissor to handstand was really good, and the opening circles, the clearance was great, but there was a moment when the hips did seem to dip, and pommel horse takes such core strength that when something like that happens, it just makes everything harder.
He did extremely well to maintain such strong form as long as he did, despite that dropping of the hips and that arching or the jackknifing of the body. I think he's a very fine gymnast. A lot to enjoy about his work. 12.9, it is over a mark lower than qualification, but his difficulty 5.5 is the same as qualification. This is definitely a gymnast who's in the picture. Patrick Hoops, third best in qualification, 14.566. The reigning 2-time consecutive university champion, the NCAA champion in the United States.
And he balances his training with studies at the U.S. Air Force Academy.
He's their only champion ever, isn't he? University level, it's incredible.
The Air Force Academy does have a very good gymnastics team, but indeed, they are not often among the very top in the United States.
They are now.
They are now.
Because of this young lad. He's looking beautiful. Well, isn't that lovely? Appropriately enough for a gentleman at the Air Force Academy, he just soared. Well, lift off to full flight to a super landing. He was well off the ground throughout that. He plans to become an acquisitions officer. He might be beginning that here by acquiring a bronze, silver or gold medal.
Fluidity is one of the things that makes for a great pommel horse routine. He has it. One skill just moved so beautifully, seamlessly into the next. Such smoothness. Skills avoiding the pommels. Those are among the most difficult. And look at his swing through up to the handstand when he's tired at the end of the exercise. It's really something to make it look that effortless.
If that's what he looks like when he's tired, I worry what he looks like when he's full of energy, because that was breathtaking. 14.466. It's only 1/10 down from qualifying. A high difficulty score of 6. We think he might have the second highest difficulty score of anyone in the final. Now, you want to see execution, watch the two young gymnasts from Armenia. Ramikon Kachatrian, who's so often been the second place gentleman of the two youngsters from his country, was the top qualifier with a score of almost 15. Silver medalist at the European Championships here in Germany recently.
And he is off on his Busnari, the flare through to the handstand. Uncharacteristic from what we have seen from him already this year, as well as at the Junior European Championship last year. But we should not forget, A, he's very young, and B, this routine is monstrously difficult. He's going to repeat it, and once again, problems. The crowd is really backing him here. When a gymnast comes off the apparatus, they have 30 seconds to remount and continue the routine. Pommel horse can be so tiring that often you see the gymnast just sort of sitting there, taking the rest time before remounting.
On this occasion, he's chosen just to get on with the rest of the routine. Wise decision from a bright young prospect. Today it hasn't worked. Today it's been one of those days, and there's no pommel horse gymnast in the world who hasn't had one of those days. It in no way affects the brilliance of this young athlete. It in no way harms his career trajectory. It will be a useful thing. There will be things to learn from. And we all learn from that which does not go well, just as we learn from that which does go well.
He's also had a very busy spring and early summer at the World Cups, at the European Championships, where he took silver on pommel horse. It wouldn't be surprising if he's a bit fatigued, because he has been competing, traveling internationally so often.
The score was 14.966 in the qualification phase. An absolutely extraordinary number. 11.933. So unfortunately it is well below his preliminary round score, 3 marks lower. This gentleman understands all too well having difficulties with a pommel horse, particularly the World University Games. It happened to him in Chengdu in 2023. And look what he's gone on to do here. Look what he's done in his life. He is the all-around champion from yesterday, Hashimoto Daiki, 5th best in qualifying for this final.
Quite a different entry into this routine than we see from some. Those are Magyar flares with the hips and the legs going in different directions. And then interesting one pommel work. It's much more difficult to continue on one pommel. And the Wendeschwing's traveling down the length of the table. It's a well-constructed routine with really nice variety and flair.
I thought he wasn't a pommel horse specialist. Seems nobody's told him.
Hashimoto Daiki, a gymnast who can be anything you want him to be.
Now that is well put. And that was well performed. Hashimoto Daiki. One has seen him at these games put the bad memories to rest of Chengdu in 2023, where he came off the pommel horse in the all-around final, suffered an injury and withdrew from the rest of the competition. A point to prove, a point proven. That could win a medal.
Oh, yes. Oh, he's clearly in contention, perhaps for even the title. We still, of course, have some excellent specialists to come, the likes of Hamlet Manoukian, among others. But in terms of setting the bar high, he's done it.
Hoops leads. For how much longer? Hashimoto's got him! 14.533. He's gained about a 10th of execution and of difficulty. Improvement from qualification. Hashimoto Daiki. Oh, it is lovely when you see people come back from disappointment at the same event next time. Both of the all-around champions, him and his teammate in the women's squad, Miyata Shoko, sustained injuries in the all-around final in Chengdu in 2023 and couldn't finish the final. And they then came back 2 years later to win the title. Miyata has just managed to win the vault title again, and I believe vault was where she had problems in Chengdu in the all-around competition. For Hashimoto, pommel horse is what caused him trouble in Chengdu in 2023, and he's now gone into a gold medal position in the pommel horse final here. It's a glorious redemption story. Meanwhile, none of these people care about what we're talking about. They are waiting to take to the apparatus. They are waiting for their chance to get onto a World University Games podium. The second best qualifier, Hamlet Manoukian, will perform as the penultimate gymnast. Every one of them still to come is a contender to win this title. Sorry, Blythe.
There is so much excitement around the work of Hamlet Manoukian on pommel horse.
And if you've never seen him, you will discover why. Just as I think you discovered why with Mamikon Kajatrian, even though he came off the apparatus, it's clear what is beautiful about his gymnastics. He'll go last, Ignacio Yocas, and he will have aspirations of a place on the podium. And my sense is that he's capable of well beyond what he scored in qualification, which was 14.233. And I think you share that as well. You've watched his work over a number of years and can see some extremely high numbers developing the more that he competes internationally and the more that he gets used to being a part of the Spanish national team out there in major events.
Absolutely. He has everything that it takes to contend for a medal.
And he's a very good all-rounder too. Let us continue. We're halfway through the men's pommel horse competition. Here is a beautifully precise gymnast on this apparatus. He absolutely adores pommel horse competitions. He is an out-and-out specialist. He's completing his coaching degree at the Uzbek State University of Physical Culture and Sports. Ravshan Kamirjanov of Uzbekistan. He's from their capital city, the Silk Road city of Tashkent, and he won a silver medal very recently at the World Challenge Cup in his home city, the first ever Artistic Gymnastics World Challenge Cup in Tashkent. He was delighted. He was fourth best in qualification here.
Beautiful swinging work, but it looked like his legs came apart on that element, and he's done very well to recapture all of the momentum. Many a gymnast would have just fallen off, but not him.
He's got a very straight body position. He pirouettes elegantly. That's a lovely routine. Regrettably, although he saved that separation and saved it extraordinarily, it will have some cost from an execution perspective. And we think that his difficulty score might be a little shy of some of the very top contenders, unless he's managed to add in this final, because he scored 5.6 for difficulty in qualification. We have a 5.7 and a 6.0 in first and second place.
This is an element known as a sewn, named after the American gymnast who pioneered it back in the 1990s. The swing around, always very distinctive with the arms. It's very good work. One might ask for a little more extension, a little more clearance of the hips, a bit higher, some amplitude, and then some arching of the back and leg separation on what is, after all, a very difficult handstand pirouetting dismount. There are some minor details that could have been a little sharper here.
As a result, his score is 14.066. The same difficulty as qualifying, but his execution is down by 0.4 of a mark. He's had to wait a long time for this moment. He was in the first subdivision of gymnasts on day one of artistic gymnastics, and now it's the last day. He's done nothing since. Igor Dajshuk has a very difficult routine, 6.1, the highest difficulty of anyone to qualify for this final. His execution was only 8. If he can improve upon that, he will contend for a medal.
Some nice things on one pommel, and there is the half sewn. However, there was a leg separation. And nice Wendeschwings between the pommels. He earns extra difficulty for doing them in that position on the horse. His swing is slightly piked. You see that there is, and then just did not have the energy after all of that to lift himself into the dismount. The hips need to shoot clearly to the handstand, and often we see gymnasts struggle a bit on that.
It's a very ambitious routine, isn't it? The difficulty is quite enormous.
And then to have to press yourself up into a handstand to do the dismount, that time much better.
There's a lot to admire about 20-year-old Igor Dajcuk. He is very ambitious in what he's trying to construct on the pommel horse. He's at the Kharkiv National University of Radio Electronics, founded in 1930. It's one of the oldest technical universities in Ukraine. It has 7,000 students. He's the only one not from the National Sports University in the squad.
And he does so much work in this exercise. You're absolutely right, Ollie. It is a very ambitious set. So look at one of the highlights, the Wendeschwings between the pommels. There's also a traveling Wendeschwing, the same thing, crossing the horse. The second attempt at the dismount was a good one.
It's all or nothing, his approach, and that's something to commend. It's the work of a bold young gymnast. 12.5 unfortunately puts him out of contention. He's fifth. Hashimoto still leads. Hoops is second. Kamiljanov is third. It means that Hashimoto Daiki is guaranteed a pommel horse medal. However, we come to the top qualifier. Hamlet Manoukian, the second strongest in qualification. I'm so used to saying the top qualifier. I've been saying it all season, but I just said it automatically then. But he was beaten by his own teammate, Mamikon Khachatrian. Nonetheless, his score was huge.
He won 3 World Cup titles back to back to back earlier this year. And if he does what he is capable of, we could see a score of something like 14.8 and 14.533, currently the leading score. Just sit back and watch the beauty of his work.
Poise, grace, elegance. Hashimoto Daiki just chuckles and claps because, like all of us, he too is a fan of gymnastics. And when you watch Hamlet Manoukian, you want a ringside seat.
Oh my goodness, that was incredible.
That's gone into the gold medal position, no doubt.
And the arena was just silent during this routine. Everybody sat back in awe of this beautiful work. Look at his toes, look at his knees, look at his legs, look at the extension, the amplitude, how high his hips are above the horse, how quickly he is moving.
There is barely anything to deduct. That will have a monstrously high execution score.
At the World University Games, that was a textbook performance.
The result might well be academic. Surprise. 14.933. He's gone into the gold medal position and straight away shaking his hand, the man that he's just pushed into second place. Hashimoto Daiki is no fool. He knew, didn't he, the moment that performance had concluded, that his time at the top of the leaderboard was over. And he looked as thrilled about it frankly, as he did. Hamlet Manoukian, he's only 17. We're not done yet. Ignacio Yockers, born in Tulsa in Oklahoma, at the University of Oklahoma. His mother from Spain. He's recently started representing their national team. He is brilliant on pommel horse.
Good scissor move, gets him into this exercise. Here's the Busnari swing through the handstand. A slight deduction as he came down, not quite as smooth as it might have been, but he's done quite well to get himself right back into the routine. There's the traveling Wendeschwing that we've seen a few times in this final. He's lost a bit of hip clearance.
Really having to show strength to get through that, which he does. And I think it's worth bearing in mind that Ignacio Yockers contested the all-around final yesterday. So he's had a little extra work compared to some of the other gymnasts in this competition. They did extremely well. He is of huge value to Team Spain. He's extremely bright as well, an excellent student in mathematics and computer science. You think his difficulty and execution scores are good on pommel horse? You should see his academic transcripts.
A multi-talented athlete, this young man.
There were just a few little moments, weren't there, here and there? Just small things that will lead to the execution score not being quite as high as desired. We'll see a lot more of him. A lot more of him. 14.2, fourth position, very close to a place on the podium. 8.5 for execution. Well done to him nonetheless. Hamlet Manoukian is the World University Games champion on the pommel horse. Hashimoto Daiki will take second place and silver, and Patrick Hoops of the United States of America, who was the second to go in the final. His nervous wait is over, he's won bronze. Ahead of another collegiate gymnast based in the USA, Ignacio Yockers. There used to be a time when you didn't really think of the USA when it came to pommel horse. Now you can't stop thinking about the USA when it comes to pommel horse. We've always thought of Armenia with pommel horse. There is your champion. The classified results in the men's pommel horse competition at Rhine-Ruhr 2025. Bronze to Patrick Hoops of the United States of America, silver to Hashimoto Daiki of Japan, and Armenia's Hamlet Manoukian wins the gold medal. Joy for the Armenian State Institute of Physical Culture and Sport. And we're going to have a look back at how the medals were won. now bring you the medal ceremony for the men's pommel horse competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the men's artistic gymnastics pommel horse final.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, die Sieger und Gerätturner, Pauschenpferd-Finale.
Please welcome the medalists.
Bitte begrüßen Sie die Medaillengewinner.
The medals will be presented by.
Die Medaillen werden überreicht von Johanna Kratt, Artistic Gymnastics International Federation Technical Delegate, technische Delegierte des Internationalen Turnverbandes.
The gifts will be presented by.
Die Präsente werden überreicht von Nele Koch, Team Lead Sports of Rhein-Ruhr 2025 FISU Games.
Third place and bronze medalist representing the United States of America.
Dritter Platz und Gewinner der Bronzemedaille für die Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika, Patrick Hobbs.
Second place and silver medalist representing Japan.
Zweiter Platz und Gewinner der Silbermedaille für Japan, Hashimoto Daiki.
First place, gold medalist and Rhein-Ruhr 2025 FISU World University Games Champion representing Armenia.
Erster Platz, Gewinner der Goldmedaille und der Rhein-Ruhr 2025 FISU World University Games für Armenien, Hamlet Manukyan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the FISU anthem.
Meine Damen und Herren, die FISU-Hymne.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Rhein-Ruhr 2025 medalists.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, Ihre Rhein-Ruhr 2025 Medaillengewinner.
And there they are, the medalists in the men's pommel horse competition at the Rhein-Ruhr 2025 FISU World University Games. More to come as we continue the victory ceremonies here at Rhine-Ruhr 2025. Do stay with us.
Butterflies wake up and turn this world